Good morning, Southern California, AM 1220 KHTS. This is your host, Fred Arnold, on the Santa Clarita Business Chamber Spotlight. Want to introduce Samantha Marcus and Jake Gomez. Samantha Marcus, Jake Gomez have been doing a project. They're both seniors, correct? At West Ranch and Valencia High School. And the project is linking individual network connections and helping seniors and even juniors in high school understand the jobs out there and know and kind of reverse engineer that and figure out, where do you need to study? What do you need to do? What opportunities do you need to look for when it comes to a great job? And I know we have someone that's local on one of the hottest teams in town right now. So I'd like the LA Clippers, Samantha, to introduce our great guest.
So today we have Paul Hewitt, who is an American college basketball coach and the former head coach at Georgia Tech and George Mason University. He grew up in Westbury, New York. After playing at St. John Fisher College, he coached the Siena College men's college basketball team for 3 years from 1998 to 2000. In 3 seasons at Siena, Hewitt developed one of the nation's highest scoring teams. Wow. Siena ranked 3rd nationally in scoring each of his last 2 seasons there. He was head coach of Georgia Tech men's college basketball from 2000 to 2011. In 2011, he was named the 9th head men's basketball coach in the program's history at George Mason University. He also served as the vice president of the NABC Board of Directors, and recently he has joined the staff of the LA Clippers as a scout, where he currently looks for new talented athletes, and I think that is amazing. Hi, Paul. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. How are you guys doing today?
Great. Thank you so much for doing this. We are truly humbled and honored.
Oh, not a problem at all.
Yes, thank you so much. So my first question for you is, given that you've spent a lot of time in the athletic field, how did you manage to work your way up from being a former basketball player to being a basketball coach at Georgia Tech, and now you're a scout for the LA Clippers?
It's sports is something that I've always enjoyed. As a young person, I played Little League baseball, I played basketball in high school, I played all kinds of pickup sports, whether it's tag football, and never really thought I could get into the industry. Upon graduation from college, my high school basketball coach asked me to join his staff at Westbury High School on Long Island. And the minute I stepped in the gym, I said to myself, this is something I definitely would like to try to see if I can make a career out of it. From there, I just went about talking to different people in the industry about how do you meet people, and how do you network, and how do you get in contact with people that will be able to provide opportunities, job opportunities for you, and also mentor and teach you as you move up. So there were a number of different things that I did. Again, coached high school ball from 85 to 88. And during that time, I also worked several college basketball camps, Syracuse basketball camp with Jim Bayama, the head coach. I worked the Providence basketball camp with Rick Pitino, the head coach of Providence College. Georgetown basketball camp with John Townsend II, who's the coach there. So it was... I was speaking to somebody about the interview I'm doing with you guys right now, and I said, boy, I wish I had this type of foresight when I was in high school. That could certainly made it an easier path for myself.
So, I have to ask, just since you were scouting, were you ever scouted? Did you have friends that were scouted? Did you kind of witness that process in high school or in college?
Well, I did receive a scholarship to play Division II basketball at St. John Fisher. Wow. But the NBA scouting is it's really interesting. I've been around the game now, some form of coaching, whether it's high school all the way up to college, for a very long time. Like I said, I started in 1985 as a high school coach, and even before prior to that, I was coaching the summer league entry of my high school team in New York, in the Springfield Garden Summer League, Rockville Center Summer League. So I've been around coaching, I guess, all the way back there, summer of 1981. But the scouting that we do now is really, it's interesting because there's so few players in the world that can play in the NBA. So you really have to have a sharp eye for what the skill is and what they can bring to your organization.
Wow, that's great. And speaking of the scouting process, can you tell us more about this? Because I love basketball, and I have a lot of friends who love playing basketball, and they're interested in taking this sport after high school. So what could they do to get noticed, and I guess, how do you look for players?
Well, first and foremost, there is no secret. I think a lot of times young people who are involved in sports and want to move up to the next level think it's about some sort of political move, or you got to play for a certain program, and certainly playing for a high-profile program, it does get you noticed. But one thing I've learned about the NBA, certainly when I'm a college coach, if you can play, we're going to find you. I don't care how small a school, how large a school you're at, or what how large a platform you're on. So it comes down to basically hard work and the development and overall talent that you can develop. And it starts with conditioning, taking care of your body, so you can go out and perform at a high level, and then developing, whether it's shooting skills, ball handling skills, passing skills, the ability to rebound. You got to have something that a coach or a general manager can decide if you can draft it, or a college coach is going to offer you a scholarship. You got to have something to bring to a team that's going to help that team become better and get them the greatest possibility of winning as many games as possible. That's what it boils down to. I hear it awful lot of times when I'm in college basketball. A parent or a friend would say, hey, my nephew or my cousin or my brother or my son, he can play just as well as the other guy. Well, I'm not worried about whether he plays as well as the other guy. I want him to help me play games. And being a player that understands that winning is most important.
Right.
That's how you draw attention.
Awesome, thank you. So we're going to take a real quick break. This has been Jake Gomez, Samantha Marcus with Learning Individuals Network Connections podcast here on AM 1220 KHTS.